Hey, hi guys! Welcome to this week's episode of Game Changes. Today we'll be discussing a whole lot of stuff in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And a game of Magic that is going to be changing soon. And right now it's gonna get really interesting. As most of you guys know, the new ban list is out, already been announced, and it will be in place the 11th of July. So get your stuff ready, because it's gonna be a very interesting meta this time. Hopefully it'll be there for the next 3 months. Hopefully nothing will be changed. But one thing for sure is a few new changes that happened is pretty impacting. I'll leave any other ban list stuff in the description below, so then you guys can take a look at it after the end of this episode, or whenever you feel like, if you get too bored of watching me. But here we go with today's episode. Goya Guardian is back, which is pretty interesting to note. He was back in the day a pretty interesting combo with Stardust Dragon, being able to run over Stardust Dragon and special summoning it on your side of the field. He is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, level 6 synchro monster created by Konami to date. With him being back, you can bet for sure that it'll be a lot more interesting to run synchro decks now, since your level 6 option is pretty strong. So then you could be able to run over Big Eye and take it, or brick your skill on a Draco stack, kill it, and take it over, use Draco Stack's effect, and which will benefit you later in the game, or you can just have it defense as a defensive monster, which is pretty sweet. And with that being said, Dimensional Prison is at 3, which is to note, with the whole eruption of a whole lot of monsters that cannot be destroyed by battle, or if they're destroyed by battle, or destroyed by card effects, they get special summon, which is Hunches. And with them, you have the Dimensional Prison now, so it has a better answer, since it's at 3. Rhoda is 2, but to be honest, that just seems very weird to me, seeing that a lot of people play usually just one Rota, because it just feels natural, but I guess since they want to push the power of warrior type monsters now with Nobilites, which is one of my favorite archetypes, if not my favorite archetype, next to Shadows, to say the least. You can actually play the deck. I don't think it'll do too much in the middle nonetheless, because Nobilites is a very fragile deck, and if its combos is breaking up midway, max seed, or anything like that, it's just generally not worth it. They just MSD your sword that doesn't come back, the ones that allows you Nobilite that cannot be targeted, and it's gone. Or they make a tiramisu and it's gone again. Or they use Black Horn of Heaven and stuff like that. But you do have the level 5 Nobilite, which is ridiculously hard to summon, and well, I count is ridiculously hard to summon because you have to banish 2 Nobilites from your graveyard, special summon it from your hand or your graveyard. But it's maxi chainable from the graveyard. I don't think from the hand, but I know for sure it's trainable from the graveyard. And I'll be preaching a lot that Maxi is a big issue, because these are the cards that'll be problematic in the meta whenever stuff like Goyo Guardian, Noble Knights, or Shadows, or any of the problematic decks that'll come out. Mermail's topped recently Europeans. Well, not top, it actually won it in general, because since it's basically the themed European deck, a lot of European tournaments, nationals, or qualifiers, or anything like that has usually been won by Mermail players. Since it's a very agile deck and it's very resourceful, it has a very high attrition rate, it has enough power to be able to make explosive plays, it wins on a lot of side deck options, and it's a very good all-around deck to play on. So if you want to play that type of deck, I would suggest if you still have Mermail, still keep on playing. It's good since it's a deck that wasn't touched this meta, like Gear Gear or whatever. Gear is at 1. It doesn't do too much to Gear players, but then at least it's not armor to 1, because then you can't call the deck dead. But then if your armor gets DD crowed or something after side deck in your game 2, or if some troll player plays one main deck or something like that and it gets DD crowed, then you're kind of fucked. But at least now it's still at 3. You can play it as much as you want to. At least it gives you 2 slots to be able to play one for Dimensional Version and maybe a next one for Black Horn of Heaven or something. It gives you more options in your main deck now. With that, that's awesome. And then you have also, for Magic the Gathering, sorry for the quick switch over, I just wanted to have this announced pretty quickly before the video ends, is that M15 is out pretty soon, It's coming out. Your pre-release dates are the 13th and 12th and 13th, so you can go to your local game store or whatever. Gamers of the West, Magic United, or the Speller House, or Gamers Paradise, and play your pre-release dates, and then you'll be able to see the pretty cool cards. And with that, Court of Calling is out. So I was pretty excited to see that that card was out. I was not playing during the time that a card was out, but I've seen a lot of modern games, seen a lot of pod decks and stuff like that. And Birthing Pod is a 4-mana artifact that you can play with Fraction Mana. That is a whole long story in it, but the point is that you can be able to toolbox your cards out of your deck by being able to sacrifice your creature, paying you 2 life, and being able to call a creature out when a mana cost is higher than the one that you did, which is pretty sweet. But now with Court of Calling, it allows you to convoke, which allows you to tap them. Even if you just cast those as creatures, you can tab them to pay the costs. So you can add that cost to the pool and be able to cast a creature out of your deck, which is technically toolboxing for cards that you'll need to use for your Birthing Pod. But I had an idea for a Reanimator deck, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys if I ever get the chance to tape it on maybe a website that allows me to via Fraps or whatever, since I have Fraps now, and I can put up deck lists for ideas that I have. And with the Souls of Innistrad, which allows you to exile it from your grave or pay the 6 mana that you 5 mana that allows you to take creatures from your grave and add them to hands. It allows you to basically have a Eternal Witness, if you will. It's a that's a 3 mana creature, 1 colors, 2 green, 2 power, 1 toughness. Allows you to take a card from your graveyard, add it to your hand. It's not exactly as good as Eternal Witness. It's way more expensive. It's way less durable than that. But there's a whole lot of enchantments and stuff that are coming out that can allow you to do something about it. And my favorite enchantment of M15 so far has to be Waste Not. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people find it ridiculously bad. I find it freaking overpowered. It's awesome in rack, and hopefully it'll be able to do something in the meta. But that's all the time I have today, guys. It's been a while since you've seen me. I hope you enjoyed this video for today. Have an awesome time and have a wonderful day. Be awesome, stay awesome, guys.